Hi, I'm Brian McCombie. I'm a writer and I'm a regular contributor to Guns America Digest and the new Hunt 365. And I'm here in Hamlin, Texas today with Outdoor Solutions, and I've been doing the long-range shooting class that they have been holding for several years now. And I'm here with Greg Ray. Greg is the founder and owner of Outdoor Solutions. So Greg, can you tell us a little bit about this long-range shooting class, what it's all about and what it is you're trying to do with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually the way that we got started, for the last 15 years, we've been sending our clients on hunting trips literally all over the world. So we do stuff from Africa to Alaska and everywhere in between. But primarily the majority of our business is in the western states. You guys are wanting to hunt elk, mule deer, antelope, that type of thing. And a large number of our clients are from Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, a lot of the northeast states that a lot of them don't even have rifle seasons. They have maybe muzzleloader or slug gun.
Yes, shotgun.
Yep. And so they want to book a hunt with us, and they want to go out west. And so, of course, we do our job and we prep them for their hunt. And when we tell them that they need to be prepared to shoot out to 400 yards, it either gets deadly quiet on the phone, or they suck all the wind out of the room, and they're like, "My God, I don't know how to do that. What do we? How do I prepare to shoot out to 400 yards?"
Right.
And so that was just a common theme that we would run into. And over the years, as we would add new outfitters to our lineup, we added an outfitter out of Utah that just happened to be a long-range instructor and a custom gun manufacturer.
Okay.
I went out and hunted with him several times, and we kind of put our heads together and was like, you know what? Our students need help. It'll make you guys more successful as an outfitter. It'll make our clients happier, and it's just kind of a win-win. So in 2012, when we partnered with the NRA, and we started NRA Outdoors, and we did our first class in 2012. We did one class. We had 14 students in it, and it went over like clockwork. Went over extremely well. A couple of the guys that had come to the class had hunts already booked with us. They went and did their hunts. One of them I remember vividly was a mule deer hunt there in Utah.
Okay.
And he got his mule deer at about 500 yards.
Oh, wow.
Called us while he was still on the hunt and said, "Hey, I knew exactly what to do." One shot, dropped it in its tracks, and he said, before the class, I never would even consider taking that shot because I'm worried about wounding an animal.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So that's basically how it started. The following year, we just started adding more classes. Those filled up almost immediately. About 2 years later, then we added the Texas location here with another one of our outfitters, and we just duplicated what we had done before. Our outfitter here, Roy and Becky, we gave them the specs of what we needed for a range, as you can see here.
Right.
They bulldozed out all the mesquite and all the underbrush. Set up the target star specifications, built this nice shoot house, which came in handy yesterday.
Yes, it did.
Poured down the rain in West Texas, if you can believe that.
So day one, we were here shooting at the stationary targets from our benches. Today, day two, we moved out into the field. Can you talk a little bit about that? What that's all about?
Sure. Yeah. So on day one, as you know, we just want to get all the basics through with everybody, and we start at the 100, walk out to 1,000. So we're working on things like your recoil management, your trigger control, your breathing, your cheek weld, just all the basics. Just make sure that everybody's dialed in good and tight. We do that at 100 yards. Make sure you're getting a good tight group, and then we just start walking you out. And then obviously the further you go, the more the wind comes into play.
For sure.
The guys are learning how to read the mirage and read wind, and they're learning the dialogue between shooter and spotter. So they're getting it down, and you see their confidence, like you said, start to grow.
It does.
And whenever everybody's goal is to hit that 1,000-yard target, it's very exciting.
It is.
And we get everybody on it, and then we get to day two. We call that frustration day because everybody's confidence builds. Man, I hit the 1,000-yard target. We're sitting on benches, and we're using some great rest that we use from Caldwell, and so you're pretty stable.
Right.
So day two, now we have on the backside of the property, it's down in some canyons and some draws. We've got some big plateaus that you shoot from, and we just try to make it as realistic as possible in shooting scenarios. So we'll have distances close as, we have one that is offhand that's right at 100 yards, and then I believe our furthest is about 960. But we'll be shooting off shooting sticks. You'll be in prone positions. You'll be using the natural terrain, so maybe there's some deadfall that you're going to shoot off of, shooting off your backpack. And then the main thing that we do in the scenarios in the back is there's just so many different tricks to getting stable. And that's the main thing that a lot of hunters won't do. They're in this big rush. Well, if you're on an animal that's out to, let's just say 500 yards, more than likely you're not going to have to be in a huge rush. Maybe that's as close as you can get, but more than likely the animal's not going to know that you're there. So you're going to have time to set up, get stable.
sure.
And so we use a lot of the just different tricks and tips that we've learned over the years to show these guys how to get stable. And as you know, this morning, man, they're out there nailing it.
Can you talk a little bit about the equipment that's here that's available for the students to use?
We couldn't think of a better company as far as a rifle company than Weatherby. You think about Weatherby, you think about hunting. We're a small family-owned company, and Weatherby has been a family-owned company for forever. And so it was just a good fit, and they make an awesome product. So what we're using is just a straight out-of-the-box. For our level 1 class, we're just using the Vanguard synthetic model. It takes a lot of abuse. We put these things through the paces just because of the number of rounds that go through it.
Sure.
We're using the 6.5 Creedmoor, and we've been using it for a long time. We didn't just jump on a bandwagon either. There's a lot of hype about the 6.5 Creedmoor. We actually, our first year, we used 308, which is obviously still an awesome cartridge. In fact, one of the first hunts that you and I went on, you used our Weatherby Vanguard in 308 and killed your first elk with it.
Yep, I did.
But right after that, in 2013, we switched over to the 6.5 Creedmoor, and it has just been flawless. So straight out of the box, we do nothing with it. Comes straight from Weatherby. The level 2 class, we are stepping up to the Mark 5 because we do shoot out to a mile, and we're shooting much smaller targets. With the Vanguard, though, 1,000-yard targets all day long, guys.
Yeah, it was no problem at all.
We partnered up with Hornady, have since day one. We're real excited when they came out with the new ELD line. So we're shooting a 140 grain bullet, and it does its job.
Oh, it does. It's a screamer too. Talk a little bit about the optic that we were using.
Yeah, this is something we are super excited about. We just partnered with Zeiss. And we went through a whole line of different optics, just trying a lot of different ones. And there's a lot of good ones out there. There's a lot of them that would have done an awesome job as well. But we were super excited to partner with Zeiss because they have a full line. And with what we do on the hunting side, we recommend, we put together a recommended gear list for the hunts. So in that, you also have binoculars, range finders. Obviously here we're using a rifle optic, and then we're also using their spotting scopes. So Zeiss sent us several different models and several different lines. We ended up settling on the V4. We're using the 6-24 by 50. And we also chose their ZBR reticle, which is basically a Christmas tree reticle with 1 MOA marks in it.
Okay.
So anyway, they've been fantastic.
It's a great scope. It's the first time I've used this scope and had no problems getting on target, and very clear images, very clear on the targets. It's a great scope. So I got to get back out in the field with Greg and the other guys because we're going to do some more shooting this afternoon. I think we're going to have a little competition too.
We are. We'll break out the shot timer, and it's amazing how that will make guys sweat. but it's a lot of fun. One thing I do want to add that we do different with our schools compared to some of the others out there is that we have teamed up with our outfitters. So we keep our classes really small. Here in Texas, your maximum size is 12 students.
Okay.
In Utah, the maximum size is 14. And for each one of those, that means you'll either have 6 shooters at one time. The other 6 are obviously spotting, or 7, depending on which location. And for those 6 shooters, we'll have 3 instructors. So you got plenty of one-on-one time with your instructor. It's not just one guy trying to cover everybody on the entire line.
Sure.
And then the other thing, the reason that we partnered up with our outfitters is they have the lodges and they have the staff to take care of us. So we provide all the lodging in very nice lodges.
Oh yeah, it's been really great.
And then their staff feeds us, provides good meals. So no more hotels, no more worrying about restaurants. And you get that camaraderie. You're hanging out with the instructors, you're hanging out with the staff. You get to ask questions after the formal classes are over, and you build a bond with like-minded students.
Yeah, it's been a really good experience. I think there's been a lot of camaraderie. People get along really well, and talking about hunts and stuff, and it's been a really good experience. So if somebody wants to take this class, they can jump on your website, right, and
Yep.
look it over?
Yep, they can log on to OutdoorSolutionsCorp.com,
Okay.
or they can actually just call the office direct and ask for me, and I'll be happy to help them. Our number is 918-258-7817.
Okay. Greg Ray with Outdoor Solutions. I'm Brian McCombie with Guns America Digest. Thanks so much.